Yo, what's good people? Welcome back to the Nerd Crate and welcome back to a new review today with another premium piece and a loan. Very much thanks to Abysswatcherr Collects. He brought this to my attention that he's in on this, let's call it line, and he's already got Star Saber and he asked me if I want to take a look at this. And so today I got for you the Flame Toys Kuro Kuri number 02, the leader of the Decepticon Justice Division. Yes, that's quite often on my channel. Tarn. Non-transforming, masterpiece scale, but with the aesthetics of Hot Toys figures. And I said this to the Flame Toys representatives at TFCon 2080. I really think in terms of Transformers characters, unfortunately not transforming because they are not allowed to. Also a little fun fact, besides, sorry for the intersplicing of thoughts. This is actually the real third party. This is what third party actually is. You get the license officially and you produce for them. That's what third party actually is. So whenever you hear third party and see X-Transports, Generation Toys, something like that, this is actually not quite correct, but it's the term that has gotten familiar. Let's call it like that. On Generation Toy, be on the lookout for Sentinel Bay reviews. He will have, or he will try and start, he's currently in the works, to make a little history on third-party companies, and Generation Toy will be the first. Stoked for this, dude. Really am. Keep it going. So let's start with the box as always, which is premium too. We have very cool matte cardboard on the front, Flame Toys on the upper left, all partially varnished, the Kuro Kuri 2 and the Decepticon symbol and the Transformers 02 Tarn. Looks absolutely beautiful, great shots of Tarn. Here in a wraparound cover that continues to the left with the Decepticon symbol and Transformers 02 Tarn on the side. And on the back we have more, no partially varnishing, but more of the beautiful black cardboard. Feels beautiful with certain action shots of him with all the warning details and where you can contact Flame Toys and that it's officially Hasbro licensed and authentic, and again rotated to the right, the other side. The rest of the wraparound picture, I also displayed a little picture for you so you can see it. And on the inside, or on the top side also, we have this wood-like graphics, which is cool, with the logo on Kuro Kuri, and on the lower side, the Decepticon symbol and everything. Same as on the front, but on the wooden stuff. And on the inside, we get, just for you now, little wooden stuff and also some more pictures of Tarn. Find, kill, cleanse, the motto of the Decepticon Justice Division. So beautiful, and magnetic lid. I really dig that. I enjoy that quite a bit. Beautiful box, beautiful, but not without his mistakes. So, and back we are. And here we got kind of it all. We of course see there's a bit to him and it's a bit bigger. So I spread it as good as I was able to. Let's get the first big piece out of the way, the instructions. Great print, very, very, very crisp. Looking good. On the front, a beautiful shot of lit up Tarn. And when you open it up, you see all the contents and also bonus parts. I think this is for a special edition. Right, this is for the version which you order from Flame Toys directly from their shop. So if you didn't, this is what you get minus this. So here's everything you can do. A lot of instructions for a figure that doesn't transform, but that's good because there are certain things that are a bit restrictive, like the rockers on the feet, which you here see already a little bit. We will go into that. And what else was? Oh, right. The thigh swivels are very loose. You will see that in a little bit. Otherwise, good instructions, show everything that you need. And with motions and everything in red arrows and where everything is attached. And on the back, another beautiful shot of Tarn, kind of bleeding energon also, so that's nice, looking good. The next one is this. We have a flight stand with this. Let's just slide Tarn down, and then we have this flight stand, which is sculpted beautifully. We have a lot of piston-like stuff and I don't know, outsourcing circuitry stuff for different mechanics and piping. Little bit of honeycomb design going on here, like Cybertronian. Same on here. Looks mirrored. Yeah, this is pretty much mirrored, but pulled throughout all the sides, looking good, but pretty hollow. A little cheap when you think of flame toys, I gotta say. A little cheap. Like Geiger Power is more heavy duty. It's a good bit though. And the actual piece you can articulate here, that goes in here, and these two of course in here. And this is easy, very easy. You just put it in, put this one in, and that's it. You can tilt him here, you can tilt it here, and you can have it pretty deep or pretty steep. So that's good. And if you want to have him angled in certain ways, you put this out of this tooth area, put it in where you want, and you attach this bit in the back here. Just slide it in. A little bit out of the way, let's do the spacing a bit better, right? So we got these pieces that attach to his forearms. And I don't know how, I actually didn't take a look, but you know what, while we're here, I gave you almost the wrong information. You cannot switch this part for this part, but you can flip these parts out and already attach one of the fusion cannons with it. Otherwise, this one right here is for this part of his arm with the so-called cluster cannons, which you put in by taking these nudges and putting them in here, so it sits like this. And the same, you mirror it so that this side sits flush to here, so you put these in here and you press, and then you take this and you slide it into this back port here. Just space it right, slide it down, and that's the finished cluster cannon look. The next part, oh, crippled here, what the hell. The next part surrounds the fusion cannons. So to attach these, you have to flip out those like this. You have little notches here to get your fingernails in, so that's helpful. You get these out, and then the best call of action is to take this one again, and like I showed you on the back side, is the same port, and you again just slide it in like this, and then you have these ports, and then you take the fusion cannons and you have these ports here and here, and you just already see this one is a little bit lower than this, so this one goes on the lower port, in here and in here. Just push it down, there's a little click, and the same goes for the other one. So once you've done this, you get this humongous looking double fusion cannon of his arm, on his arm, with beautiful paint apps. We have gold here, we have purple going into gold here, silver. The whole piece is more gunmetal than black. It continues on the other one with more gunmetal, some darker bronze in here, more purple here, it's kind of a power bar, more bronze, gold, purple. Unfortunately, those guys don't light up, which I think is a huge letdown on the figure itself, because the light up feature on this guy is beautiful, hands down. But this is not all that you can do with the weapons. So you can detach those guys, and then you have these grips, and same as on masterpiece figures, you got this pack. You try to align the thumb and you want to push this pack in here. I've done this the first time now. It's a little bit wonky due to the dimensions, but it works. And you hold it just fine. Same goes for the other one. And also just push it in, close the fingers. Holds it just fine. That's still not all on those multi-tools. You can pull this part out and then you can open this part. Then you open this part, put this part in according to the lines, close it up. Then you can fold this grip out, fold this one down, and then you combine these like so. And then you have a thing like, I don't know, a double fusion cannon or a kind of a Gatling piece or something like that. I don't know how it actually works because the side where it fires is here and this is closed down. I don't know. So it's only a combined fusion cannon with cluster cannon. All right. So you can have him probably holding this like any masterpiece kind of weapon. So the idea is probably to have him hold in this hand and then have him hold it here with this hand. The dimensions are a little bit much, and while trying to get it in, the thumb popped out. That's a tolerance. That is actually on purpose, so I'm good with that. But of this guy, not a fan. Especially since I actually caught the attention of, why is this like not too cool. So let's put this mofo back where it belongs, and it is on the arm and where it looks good. So last accessory, we got this kind of a boom box piece, which is, yeah, with the bonus part, this is supposed to kind of split open and reveal speakers for his actual power, which is that he can manipulate other Cybertronians on you with his voice to the point where they actually die. So also again, beautiful paint. This is matte gray, gold applications here, metallic purple, silver, bronze, silverish gunmetal on the nozzles, more gold, more silver, purplish gray, looks cool. Purple here, gold, bronze, very, very nice. Articulated on the back here. And you can pull these ones out and pull these ones out, and also supposedly, which is hard, pull these ones out, but it's hard to get a grip on those. Let's try the other one. Yeah, not working too well. Okay, you can pull those out, and according to the instructions, and I was able to do it once, not for the life of me. I don't know if those are supposed to be some kind of batons, but again, the paint is pulled through, so there's that. But honestly, those are kind of super mode stuff thingies pieces, and I don't think that's necessary. It's nice that Flame Toys thought of something, and I think it's in unison with Hasbro, of course. So that's what they thought of. But you attach it by this double T pack and this double T port. Showed it around the wrong side, but still. And then you have his super mode here, or his usual mode of his tank turret on the top, and you can push it over his head using this armature, and that looks pretty cool. So let's talk about the figure, which is beautiful. Take this guy in. Quick 360 for you. You see the first part already. Covered in paint, head to toe, looks heavy duty, feels heavy duty. He's very heavy. I didn't pull out actually a weight measure. I forgot the word, you know what I mean. Maybe I'll do this for the final thoughts. Maybe I'll do this. This would be interesting. But since we're back now. Let's check this guy out. What the hell, Flame Toys? This is insane. Like, look at those details. We have, okay, let's see if we can get a grip of all those colors. We have a dark purple on the mask with lighter purple in the middle, gunmetal on the head, on the front here on those grills, more gunmetal on the top here. We have flat blackish gray, something like that, on the front, with more metallic purple and an energon purple on the front there with some lines in between, bronze, gold, honeycomb design on the inside of those guys, on the ribs in here, more black, grayish black, blackish gray, call it whatever you want, gunmetal, white on the thighs, more honeycomb here, gold on the kneecaps, the same purple metallic on the lower legs here, honeycomb here, more metallic purple. This is covered head to toe. The feet also. There's paint everywhere. Excuse me for the jitter. He's heavy. He's a heavy boy. I will show you in the end. I will get the weight here. So the backpack you saw already. We have the tank treads, which are gunmetal, more honeycomb and some reflective material in here with gunmetalish purple, the same on, where was it? We had it on here. We had it somewhere on here. And then of course the fusion cannons. Styling continues on the lower arm with more purple-ish, then some breakup with another color, looks beautiful. The hands are a purplish gunmetal stuff like gold on the Decepticon symbol. The other arm the same way. And you saw it on the back in the 360 already. He's pretty clean and he looks beautiful. He absolutely looks beautiful. It's a beautiful butt. I cannot stress that enough. So yeah, it's amazing. It really is amazing. Before we get to articulation, this guy comes with a light up feature, or with three to call it that. We have, when you put this up, a button here and you switch it over. And once you've done that, you have beautiful light up on the abdomen and in the head. Crazy, just crazy. And that's not enough. You can pull the mask off his face to reveal his real face and have scoring on the face with amazing details for the lights to pick up on and more of the colors. It's insane. It really is insane. Like in the right angle, it's just terrifying. It really is terrifying. The hole in his head doesn't distract too much. The batteries on these guys are a little bit out already. They are starting to fade, but just so you see what he looks like when all the lights are shut off and you have these bits on the lower legs also here, which also bring a beautiful light. Let's just try and have, yeah, I think I got all the lights. Yeah, I got all the lights in here. Good, the view is important. I'm gonna kill the lights and then you can enjoy the full glory of this. So I think this is pretty crazy. A good difference, I think. Still my headlights in the room are on, but I think the point stands. So kill the lights. So this bad boy got home with some battery power left. Let's get to accessories. Of course, more accessories. No, articulation. The head is on a multi-directional joint. We have a piece in here, which is directed and a little bit crooked right now, but you get the idea. A lot of down, a lot of up, because it's a ball joint into the chest and a ball joint into the head, which gets you a great back and forth only on the neck and also then on the head itself. A little bit of attitude, not a little bit, actually quite a lot. So that's beautiful. We got the chest piece here, which is articulated, if you decide to articulate the shoulders forward a little bit too much and you just want the flex. So that's cool. Talking about the shoulders, you have a butterfly in here that's kind of spring-loaded, gets you out quite a bit. You can flex it. And the shoulders are articulated on their own with a good range. And this covers down nicely, looks good. We have a little bit of articulation on the tank treads flaps over here, looks good, and a little bit here. So the arm gets out quite a bit. Of course the fusion cannon gets in the way, but otherwise it works quite well. I will show you in a little bit, just a slight bit. So let me just take off the fusion cannon for a moment here, and you can see it all better. So that works good. And the most beautiful part on Flame Toys actually is their engineering feat when it comes to elbows and knees. So we have a bicep swivel to get this out of the way. And now watch the elbow. We have a, I don't know, it kind of looks like triple jointed. Because let's try and analyze. First, this part moves until here. Then this part, the third one moves, and in between, this one steps in and makes it complete. You saw that, right? So, and in between, this also moves to cover it down, which is crazy. So fully closed, no ugly hole. Superb, really superb. The hand is on a pack, like on a circular pack. I don't know why, it tends to pop off. But you also have articulation in the wrist, which is nice. Breaks the sculpt here, but there's no other way to do it really. Oh, this flexes also, just saw that. The fingers are individually articulated with a ball on each base and a middle and end pin on each of the fingers. So this is crazy what you can do with the hands. But it's a good call by Flame Toys to still implement the pack holes for the weapons. I appreciate that. Same on the other side. The abdomen is also beautiful, similar to the elbow. So you get a little bit of a waist swivel, actually quite a good bit. Works realistic, and the waist piece flexes with it. That's nice. You have a little bit of a teapot going on. So left and right on there, closes down nicely with some piston work in between here. But the real magic comes with the ab crunch. Did you see that? Like, this is super annoying. He flexes super to the back and super to the front. And this part flexes automatically in this little notch here. And the best part, it's engineered this well that this Decepticon symbol is never touched. No paint scratch. Bravo, Flame Toys, bravo. So the legs, we have, you know what. This distracts me from doing my work. So let's take the arm out of the way here. We have a hip skirt to the back for the sake of getting the leg all the way back, and a front hip skirt on a ball to get the leg all the way to the front. Works nice. You can just put it back into place. Works fine. So I just see here are actually holes. I don't know what this is for. I believe you can put in something else. I don't have any parts anymore, so I don't know if anything is missing or comes with a special edition. I don't know. Anyway, the knee, another awesome feat of engineering. Remember the knee, remember the elbow, look at the knee. One joint, two joints. And now watch this whole area here. Oh, I love it. full range, not ugly, totally closed, like a piston piece in here, piston piece in here, more mechanical workings in here, and this part just helps the kneecap close the leg down perfectly. Looks even beautiful from the front if you do it. I love that. I love that. I'm a sucker for good engineering. The rocker is a bit limited. You can do nothing to the outside, which is mandatory for having him running, which doesn't work. But the rocker works quite well to the outside, giving him a good wide stance. That's okay. And the foot itself has a great toe tilt, giving him a lot of possibilities. So that's good. The problem, because now we were at the positives for the leg, come into the way of the thigh swivel. What's this? Everything else is so perfect, and what's this? Like, it's super loose and wobbly, like immensely so. This could be a tad better, I don't know, but they are very loose and it's a problem on posing this guy. But you know what? Comparisons and a few bits of articulation showing, we'll do that in the back again.
Right, so with Decepticons I always like to do this pose first, when they have a fusion cannon, to see how much of that big thigh swivel forward, the deep knee bend, the deep elbow bend and everything, you know, these guys can actually do. So let's just go ahead and get these fingers into a fist. Like I said before, don't be afraid if one of those fingers pop off. Flame Toys deliberately tolerance them that way, that you can easily pop them off and on, and you won't have any problems popping them back in, because as you see here, they are all on ball joints. So let's get this leg back and toe tilt forward. Take this one here, take this one here, and you see when you already also take the ab crunch forward, he can actually pull this off. There's just one big problem, which is the bulkiness, A. Okay, now he actually holds the pose, which is pretty interesting. I did a photo set, he didn't hold it there. He absolutely, see? So that's a problem with the balancing, and also you saw where it happened? It happened on this part here. It tends to swivel down, and this is the really low, the really open tolerance on the thigh swivel is where he actually loses the balance, which is a shame, which is a real shame. Otherwise you see the articulation goes all out. It works just fine. It really does. So articulation on this guy, for what it is enough to do a lot of beautiful things. Also, if you want to have him doing a simple walking pose, that also works fairly easy and nice. Have his head a little bit menacing to the front, and then you have him essentially standing just fine. So that works all pretty good and well. But if we come to this one where I showed you, you can actually do them in the combined weapon with this attached to this, or the other way around, I believe it was. Yeah, this attached to this. This is where the articulation actually falls short. But let's just give it a try. So as you see, it is possible, but you need a lot of the articulation for this pose, and it also doesn't look too good. Like, you can use the extra articulation in the hand wrist, but together with this and the butterfly and everything, it's just not a good look. So I wouldn't recommend doing this, especially because it's not from any fiction. He never used it like this. in the comics. But how about we straighten this guy out and get to comparisons? That looks way better and cleaner. I like that. So why not we stay in the IDW G1 universe and pair him with his leader, Generation Toys Tyrant. I think that's a great fit. They work look-wise, and Tarn is a good scale. I think he's a good masterpiece if you straighten him out fully. I think that works. I always envisioned him like leader size, like a leader, not the particular leader size, but smaller than Megatron. So I can live with this. But the most interesting question is, what about the other Tarn? So let's not only pair him with one other, but two other Tarn. And those are the presentations that you can have. You have Master of My Creations Kuro, and you have Iron Factory's Dubai. And seeing these side by side, that's a pretty cool view. That is really a pretty cool view. One thing that comes to mind for me is directly the many similarities between the two. Like Master of My Creations did a lot the same way. We have the lines here, we have the lines there. We have the place for the Decepticon symbol. We got the round pieces here, we got a few of the purple parts here. The golden kneecaps, of course, come through all of them. So I think that's a good comparison. I think that works. And the interesting part is, this is true masterpiece. Like, at least to me it is. We never saw a masterpiece Tarn, which is sad. So this is the only version we can say is masterpiece and would fit in this. But then we see MMC Tarn is not that far off. And this pretty much fits. With my personal notion that I think MMC Tarn is a good stand-in for a masterpiece. Of course, he's Chuck and he's a little bit more simplified, but he's like the comics. Also since, or not since, also Dubai. And I think Dubai does even a good job when we look at the fusion cannon. Like the fusion cannon on the Flame Toys is different in length, and Dubai is also. And let me check a few things. I just see this live. I just put out Tarn out of the box today. Thanks to my man Dan of Sentinel Bay Reviews, he sent it back to me. This is actually my ex Tarn. He bought it from me, so thanks dude, made this all possible. But back to it, a lot of similarities. I like that. But the clear masterpiece approach here is Flame Toy. And I know I said I want to weight this guy for you, and I thought we also weighed the 3 ones, but unfortunately the batteries in my little weight is unfortunately out. So no way for you, but know this, he's substantially heavier than at least Tarn, so Kuro and Dubai, and I would say him alone is as heavy as these 3 combined. So there's that. So there you go guys, that was Flame Toys Kuro Kara Kuri Transformers 02. Tarn. A beast of a figure. You saw the mistakes, or the, let's not call them mistakes, what shall we call them? A few kinks in the perfection? Let me call it like that. Let's just break it down, because we had everything, and for a guy that doesn't transform, this has been way longer than anticipated. So, as always, the packaging, 10+. Of course, due to its cardboard nature, it's prone to damage, but it's pretty heavy duty, and it's beautifully done. So, if you're a collector, you take care of it, and nothing will happen. But just so you know. And the partial varnishing, the print, top notch. Appearance overall is perfect. You saw the box, you saw the bot, the whole presentation. Inside just clamshells. There's nothing important. But the whole piece, paint, all in all, you just have a first look. Accessories is
very good. He comes with everything that is needed. You have pieces that close his arms down. You have his double fusion cannon. You have his, let's call it speaker pack. And there's nothing that doesn't make any sense. The thing is, a little thing that could have been put in there just to posing purposes, you know, like doing the Goethe style, you know. Shakespeare, not Goethe. I'm not too big into literature, but that's Shakespeare. They could have come with a severed K-on head. I think that would have been cool. So that's the only thing. Otherwise, nothing that's stupid. So that's fine. Materials are almost perfect. I say almost because there's a little thing that can blemish the full figure if you are not careful. I see the tips of the mask breaking off. Be very careful. Paint application, perfect. With the star, you see that. No paint chip, everything is perfect. No paint bleed anywhere. Head to toe, hands down, perfect. Articulation, why only 7, you ask? Because the double jointed elbow is beautiful. The double jointed knee is beautiful. The ab crunch is beautiful. Everything on this guy is beautiful and stiff. But what is it all worth if you don't have a thigh swivel that can hold it? You saw that. That's a problem. That's a big problem. That's also why the engineering, it still is high. You know, I mean, I do the rating. I know that's hard for you guys maybe to wrap your mind around, but the thing is, it is done beautifully. The fact that there is no transformation involved has all of these spaces and places in between where you can put all the joints in. Absolutely wonderful. But again, when you do all this stuff, all these self-closing elbows and knees, and it all works in perfect unison, they could have done the whole way and stiffen up that thigh swivel. That's lazy, in my eyes. Robot mode. I love this look, I really do. I would have loved for, I don't know, a company like Generation Toy to tackle it like this and do it like this. It's very cool, but it is a slight tad too bulky for me. Like the proportions of MMC that you saw are a little bit too slim, and he is too bulky. I think actually Iron Factory Dubai is pretty much perfect. So MMC with a tad of this would be perfect. My 2 cents. Playability, you don't play with this, but you can. You have a flight stand, you have all you needed, all the joints are stiff and work great, but the thigh swivel again. What is the fun in that? You pose it, all these cool poses and stuff, and he's just going, I can't hold it. And the value for money, easy, right? I mean, this thing is 400 bucks. I believe 400 bucks just to get a ratio. I don't know. I haven't looked for him because the pricing on this is a lot. It's Hot Toys money, I know that. But for a Hot Toys price, I can get an actual Hot Toy, which is the character I enjoy, like Robocop, like Terminator. When I get a Transformer, I want him to transform. I'm not saying this is not a Transformer, like hardcore fans. They need to transform. This is a Transformer. This is a character from the Transformers lore. And even Cybertronians in the comics and in the fiction call themselves Transformer. So this is a Transformer. But I enjoy a little bit, let's just call them cheaper materials, and then have him transform. So there's that. With that score, I still recommend him. If you want to spend the money, and if you enjoy high quality collectibles, and if you can live with a few shortcomings in articulation. But otherwise, beautiful. Engineering wise, overall, the paint the whole appearance, everything. Bravo, Flame Toys, bravo. Insane job. Happy to talk to you guys at TFCon. Hope we can revisit that or repeat that or whatever. But for now, that's it. I hope you enjoyed today. Thanks for Abysswatcherr again for letting me check him out. You will get it back safely, be sure of that. And next week, I return with Voice of Kaon with a new review, all kinds of shit. If you enjoy that stuff, please give me a like, please give me a subscribe. I would appreciate it. And click the little notification bell so you will never miss a video of me. With that, now, have a great week. Take care, be well. Bye.